There was that lady I met last night.
Dora.
Dora. Yep.
Yeah.
He was telling me about his experiences with her, so his aren't much different than mine. Um, she didn't bite me or beat me up, but apparently she's got a history here of physical violence, which she
Uh,
didn't get physically violent with me. She didn't whop me with a belt or nothing.
right. That sucks.
Yup.
She got me good that one night. Just come running out. Wow. I took off running. She don't beat me up. Why you gotta beat me up?
Right?
I ain't doing that to you. I'm just your friend.
Right? Yeah, last night I wanted to give her that violin. She was being real loud and praying for a ukulele, but I didn't have one. I tried giving her my violin. She's like, I can't play this. Okay, I won't make you take it.
Right? She runs across music equipment. She said someone passed away and all that person's belongings she inherited. But she shows up with different cool stuff, but she gets rid of it. Gets her dope or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
That's usually the way that stuff goes. But I got this really nice. It looks like a mandolin, but it wasn't. It was curved,
yeah.
and it was brand new, and it had a case, everything. And I got a set of hat buttons in a picture frame, or about 50 of $100 button set. I got some cool hat buttons. You know, it's really cool. I traded and got my lady some stuff at the antique store. It was fun.
Heck
But
yeah.
then she did. She had that little ukulele thingy. She had a harmonica, a professional one, great big one. I bought it for I think $10. No one sold it to the box shop. I shouldn't have done it because I played it. It was fun. Keep me occupied at night. My dog, you know.
Yeah, I got a harmonica in here. If it weren't for the fact that it fell apart, I'd be playing it.
They're fun, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
They are. I like how they sound. I want to get one of those boingers. Little boinger.
Oh, the Jews heart.
Those little tiny things.
Yep.
You gotta watch out they cut your tongue or something.
If you play them right, you shouldn't.
Right.
I've heard of people breaking their teeth on them though.
Good golly.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't have to worry about that. Might just fall out.
I have 0 teeth anymore, thank goodness. Of course, as soon as my teeth were out, people started treating me a lot different because I wasn't as pretty as I used to be.
Yeah, I want to get me a set of teeth. I want to get mine while they're little.
Well, I'm glad she wasn't as assertive with me last night as she was with you. I don't think I'd enjoy getting smacked with something.
Good golly, no. It really catches you off guard. Like that one night when they hit me. I didn't even expect that. It just come out of nowhere. He had like a rebar or something. Just whopped me right there. Knocked me out. I woke up pretty quick though. My friend wasn't so lucky. He split his whole side of his head open. Cheryl got me to the hospital. And I was out of there. Crazy violence out there.
There is. And that's the thing is, it's like, for me, getting treated like I'm some sort of a nut job, getting blown off by the cops, doesn't matter how much of this shit that I gotta go through, they don't give a shit. There's been a few people who said they'd go in with me, but between illnesses, whatever else, just ain't nobody done so yet.
Right.
I gotta run down to the Fred Meyer today.
Cool.
Try to get something done there. I think I got enough left on my card to get a coffee.
Oh, right on.
Yep.
Coffee's always good.
No, it's what allows me to use the internet down there.
Hey, when you go up there, can you throw this in a garbage can?
No.
No?
No.
I don't really want to throw it on the street.
I get that. If it wasn't for the fact that it's an alcoholic beverage container, I'd be all right with it, but
I might stuff in that bush. I do that once in a while.
I figure since I don't drink, it's probably not a smart idea for me to be having open beverage containers.
Right.
Some of the cops here already well aware that I'm not happy with them and that they are definitely not going to get away with breaking the law the way they have been.
Right.
Without me speaking up, I do expect them to start pulling me over stupid shit.
Yeah, I hope they don't start with me. You know, they have.
Well, you got Cheryl with you, that decreases your chances of getting messed with.
Right.
Plus, she's an elderly white woman, so
Right.
yeah, that would probably not go over too well for them if they did mess with you.
Yeah, that's the truth. They know I drink, but we don't drive. You know, everything's so close
Yeah.
that we just walk to it. What's the price of gas?
I'm not sure. They paid for my gas yesterday, but I didn't ask how much it was per gallon. The preacher feller, he walked over there with me. His name's Doug. Yeah, over here. Yeah. He walked down there with me and wrote them a check. He was going to give me a check for $40, but I was pretty sure it was going to be around $40, but I wasn't exactly sure. So I ended up, instead of getting a $40 check, they put $36 in my card, because that's all it would take. It is. That's got to save me $4 too. Yeah. Also, I do make the connection that a lot of the church folks that I'm not happy with, they're the ones that pay for that. Some of them may not like any of us because we're homeless. But when it comes to getting the gas buttons, it's those people that don't like us that are giving the money to the church. They're using to helping us out.
Even at the services, some of the people they'll throw you down $12. I had a few people up here at the church that already got gas. They asked me to give them free. Sometimes I go. Yeah.
Only they kept the folded burger in their pocket. You pulled me a burger out of your billfold.
Right.
On the bright side, fuck it. I'm just gonna turn this off. I did have plans to knock on my windows, so I don't have any reason to have my vehicle on still.
Yeah, I don't run mine that much. Just at nighttime. It gets too cold. I'll start it, get the heater going.
I ain't heard nothing, Robert Farnsworth, since you told me he got beat up.
Right. I haven't even seen it.
Did you see him get beat up, or did you just see him after?
Yeah, I seen him after. It was up in Safeway. Good buddy. You have to get a beer.
I don't feel too safe with him around. At the same time, I don't want him getting beaten up.
Yeah. I don't like him around either.
Oh, when people were talking about dragging him behind their vehicles, that's the point where I was like, all right, he needs to be put somewhere safe where other people aren't going to hurt him.
Right.
When it gets to that point, like, people don't get it. They don't understand that, yeah, this guy's got mental problems. He doesn't need beaten up. He needs removed from the situation, which is a lot different.
Some people do talk about that, dragging people around.
Yeah.
There was one guy down here, he talked about they're going to do someone, they're going to pop a hole here through their nose somehow. They're going to put a line in it, pull them around like a bull.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's just sick.
I agree. Well, that's the thing yesterday when I was back there and there's all four of them guys back there talking about tying a rope around his neck and dragging him, or tying it around his waist and dragging him, and all that other stuff. Like, that just messed my head up hearing that.
That's scary. That's really scary.
It is.
I wouldn't want that to happen to me. That would suck.
Well, I understand their frustration and why they say stuff like that. But also, like, somebody like me who's been around enough people who tried that kind of shit, you know, it does freak me out hearing it.
Right?
I don't want that guy being beaten to death just because he's crazy.
Yeah.
He needs actual help, but they ain't gonna help him because he ain't an upper middle class white girl. So he don't get rehab. He'll just go to jail.
That's what he needs to do.
Well, if he's in jail, that means he's not out here hurting people. He's
Yeah.
not out here making things worse for all of us.
Maybe they'll give him some Medicaid.
Maybe. Well, that's the thing too. Like, a lot of people pretend like I need medication, like I'm him, like I'm one of them kind of folks. No. There's plenty of people that know me. If I'm fucking screaming, there's an actual reason. It's not because nobody touched my penis.
Right.
That'd be about the dumbest thing to complain about, too.
Oh, yeah. It's gonna be cool to see you paddling around in that thing.
I'm not sure if I'll be able to anytime soon. It's looking to me like all my time is getting eaten up with jumping through hoops that don't get me anywhere.
Mm.
On the bright side, I'm getting my fingernails clean.
Right. I better go get my dog now.
Sounds good.
So she does want to hear me.
I think I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna go see. God, what's his name? I just met him a few days ago. I'm not real good with names.
Right. Takes me a few times.
The guy with the brown van.
Oh, he got stuff on top of it?
Yeah. He was gonna help me to turn some of this stuff in, but we had a lot of complications yesterday getting that done.
Wow.
Yeah. He did go down to the DHHS office, and I went with him, but it was about a situation where he was having to turn something in.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I got to figure out how I can get my ID. I need ID when I go get my food stamps. Yeah, it's the 19th already. No food stamps.
I do need somebody to go down with me and help me to fill that stuff out. That's one of the things about having somebody to go with me. If nobody goes with me or speaks up, the cops, I just pretend it never happened. Pretend I never tried.
Right?
And they get away with it because it's their word versus mine. I'm sick of that shit happening.
It's like the cops came down there where we were parked. Lady over there in that red house down there. They were all like this, just staring at us. It's like, what the heck? We're just sitting there playing with the dog. Here comes a cop. She come flying over. She's like, yo, paint on that wall. We was like, no. It's like, we're gonna do stuff like that. Look at that, it's old. It was here last year. And all of a sudden, police comes in. Because I heard y'all tagging, painting on a wall down here. I was like, we ain't doing that. Look at us. We don't do that kind of stuff. He looked at the wall. He's like, I don't see no fresh paint. And he walked around the corner and looked at the wall. He walked back by us. He's just shaking his head. He couldn't believe it. That lady called spray paint wall. I go look at it. Looks like someone tried to scrub it off a long time ago.
That's the thing. A lot of people have hatred towards homeless folks. They do shit like that all the time.
They do.
False charges, and it don't matter, you know. At least you guys got lucky.
Yeah, it's like we ain't doing no spray paint.
If I had some spray paint, I might spray paint some walls, but it depends on the walls. Like over in Hood River, they got a bunch of stuff underneath one of the bridges that said such and such dude's a pedophile, and they had a bunch of penises that they painted with spray paint.
Good God.
I'd spray that over. I'd get myself some cement colored paint and just spray over the top of that.
Get a roller.
Yeah.
Roll it out.
Well, that might be a bit much for me. I might have a bit of issues carrying a gallon of paint.
Right.
I'm not supposed to carry anything over 10 pounds, and I'm not supposed to twist, but who goes in with me to turn this shit in? You know? They expect me to do things that I'm incapable of. And then, of course, if you don't have family that help take care of you during those situations, they don't give a fuck. You must have deserved it. When you're forced into a situation where you literally have to defend yourself against hundreds of assholes, and nobody gives a fuck, nobody ever speaks up, they just come over and tell you about their own personal problems for fucking 3 goddamn weeks. Man, yeah, you're totally gonna help me eventually. Sure, I believe it. Oh, it's America. A lot of people were willing to come together to try to destroy my life, and they did a great job. Not one of my friends come together to actually speak up. They don't give a fuck. They just want to tell me about all their fucking personal problems and make me feel completely like shit for asking for help. And the only help that I was asking from them son of a bitches is for them goddamn pieces of shit to tell the fucking truth. Right. Instead, those fucking pieces of shit made me record it and put it on the fucking internet. Like, Jesus goddamn Christ. Yeah, what good friends those fucking cocksuckers are. And I'm not against them for sucking cock. The way I look at it, if somebody wants to suck dick, it's on them. As long as they got a consensual partner or whatever.
Just keep you away from me.
Yep.
I got it. Yeah, 11 years, I think. 11 years. Yeah. Let's see. 2011 is when we got together. Went and got her a couple rings made. She's got one. It says 75 in her cross in 2011. And it says 46, her birth year. Her birth years. I got her one made too. I got one for my mom and dad. 51 and 50, that's when they were born. And it says 75 when I was born. I want to get some for my kids.
So your wife's older than your mom?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It don't matter.
I gotta find my tobacco. I want to have me a tobacco stick.
Huh?
I said I want to have me a tobacco stick.
Right. I'm gonna stick this on this bush right here. Get it out of sight. Right. So we're gonna have 2 more days of summer. That's it. Guess that's what they said on the radio.
2 more days of summer, and it's the end of October.
Isn't that crazy? Okay, Indian summer.
I don't get why it's called Indian summer. Does summer really last until October in India? When I was younger, I was told we're not supposed to call natives Indians anymore. So then, of course, I get up to Hardin, Montana, and I got all these folks telling me they're Indians.
Right, isn't that true?
It is.
It's really different.
Don't call them Indians, they're Native Americans. You want to be PC, homie. You got to be politically correct. They're Native Americans. No, we like to be called indigenous. There's this group that I was a part of on Facebook. It's called social distance powwow.
Oh wow. Wasn't sure.
Yeah. Well, there seems to be a lot of people on there that are pushing the we're indigenous. You need to call us indigenous.
Huh.
And I remember being in Hardin, Montana, and using the term indigenous up there, and one of the ladies asked me what it meant.
Yeah. I never heard of that when I was going to school. Never heard that word.
And see, you're indigenous. You ought to have heard it.
I never heard it. No.
Yeah, so in social distance powwow, they had one lady who said Indian, so they kicked her out of the group.
Oh wow. That's
Yeah,
totally weird.
but that was right at the very beginning. At first, it was, when the whole social distancing thing was on real heavy.
Yeah.
But then when it started to tone down, now it's a lot of stuff about missing people and shit like that. But yeah, the MMIW, Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women, that's one of the big groups now. And
Yeah.
MMIP, Missing and Murdered Indigenous People. But it's kind of like the generational thing with a lot of the black folks I grew up with. Like,
Yeah.
when I was growing up, a black kid was a black kid. That's what we called them. Right? If you were to talk to somebody older than my generation, the term that's politically correct, is Negro. Right? So of course, you're supposed to identify somebody as a Negro because they happen to have black skin. And I'm like, well, here's the thing. With the younger generation, they're offended by that word, and you can't say it because they think you're actually calling them the N-word. Well, them youngins don't know what the hell they're talking about.
They call themselves that. What's up, nigga?
See, I don't like that word, and I tell
It's
people I don't
weird.
like it.
It's
And
really
it don't
weird.
matter if they're black or not. I tell them I don't
just
like
call
it.
them by their name or hey, bro.
Right? Oh my God, wouldn't that be the best thing in the world if we could just get people to realize that you are not your skin color, you've got a brain, and you've got a name?
Just only human. Oh, we are.
But then it became, like in the mid 90s, it
Yeah.
became African American. You have to say African American. And then, of course, in like 2006 or 2007, we had the whole thing about you can't call us all African Americans because some of us are indigenous from other places, like Aboriginals or the Creole.
Yeah, those different words are different. There's so many words.
Also, you get to see generationally how many people are offended by what. Like now, I'm not sure what we're supposed to call a black person other than a black person, but apparently BLM, Black Lives Matters, so that means that it's now politically correct enough to say black person again, or no? Yelled at.
What's up, bro?
Well,
There I go, my friend. Doing
I was fine with hanging out. I'm just not fine with sleeping with people. So last night was not a happening thing.
I think she's still on
She might be.
the cart. Like, well, there's a shopping cart there.
I don't hold nothing personal against her. I don't think she didn't try to molest me or anything like that, Could
Things like
be.
that. She'll do so much stuff. She'll be fine 1 second. And about 3 minutes later, she'll scream. Oh, good golly. It's like, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody here holding it.
And I had my windows closed and my doors closed and all this stuff up last night, and it was pretty good soundproofing, but I could still hear her through it.
Right? Well,
Eventually, I got to the point where I just opened my door so I could record the fact that it wasn't a hallucination. That's one of the things that the cops through all this keep trying to pretend, like I'm hallucinating this shit.
yeah, that's cool about recording.
Yeah.
I used to do that. I record stuff.
But even though I record it, if I got to go in by myself, nothing gets done, nothing happens, because they know they don't have to, because I went in by myself. That's the thing about going in with somebody. If people go in with you, especially if they're witnesses, you might get something done. That's the only way to get it done.
Right?
And a lot of these folks, they just wanted to argue with me. Like, Yeah, I already talked to the lawyers before Natalie got her head blown off. I followed their instructions. I went to the people I was supposed to, and when they said, "Don't you have any friends or family?" No, I fucking don't. I got people who pretend. I'll go in with you, Sean. Sure you will.
Cheryl, she be the one with the paperwork. I'm not good.
Yeah.
I'm really good. She helps me out. She's pretty good at paperwork.
Yep, and that's the thing. I don't have somebody helping me out with that stuff.
I bring it up to her again.
I know she said she was gonna, but then you ended up having that night where you were pretty sick.
Pretty good. I guess we got 10 more days of summer, huh? Oh, gotta get the rain gear.
On the bright side, I got plenty of that. I got to try to come up with insurance money again.
I'll chat at you in a little bit.
All right, thanks for coming to visit, Lewis.
We're gonna see if our friend back here, he might have a couple bucks. I can get a beer.
Yes, sir.
He might.
I'm gonna.
I'll pay him back. I got another friend over here. He got tons of bottles and stuff.
I think I'm gonna try tearing through my car and making sure I got enough for coffee.
I'll chat at you in a little bit.
All right, be safe, Lewis.
All right, you too.
At least, folks, are getting used to it. Getting used to me recording, getting used to me speaking up about how it is. It's a lot easier to get people to speak up this way than it is actually going with them. All right. Well, I gotta pee. So, I'm in the video. On the bright side, we get to get rid of one of my major trolls today. If I'm able to get my computer up and actually running, we'll be getting rid of a few more of the trolls. I had to make a channel on my YouTube here in order to speak out because police won't do their jobs for a fucking homeless person. Especially not a disabled homeless man who has to go in alone. Good to be with you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind. Big difference between screaming for help and screaming because you're twacked out your goddamn gourd.